All right, friends, I feel like I'm going to do a video on Greg Doucette again. Yeah, I don't know. I had some time and I figured I'll review this video. She put my glutes to shame. Big butt. All right, let's see what this is all about, the big butt.
Hey man, you lost?
Yeah, I'm lost. I don't know what I'm doing. Can you help me out?
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
You have a big butt already. It's coming just from doing this.
And so I'm here with Julia Renee, and she's teaching me how do you get glutes, legs like this. I mean, look at what's going on right now. I mean, what is even happening? What is the secret?
This lady looks so unnatural, but okay. Naturally unnatural. I'm not saying this isn't achievable natural. This is achievable natural. I'll explain this in the video.
What are we going to do?
So first of all, I don't start with cardio. Start with bands.
So my 30 to 60 minutes of cardio, we're not doing that.
So she's using these bands to do what exactly?
We do some bands. We
So
gotta
we're
get
doing
some blood
bands.
flow
I
to the
gotta
muscles.
admit, I never use bands.
Okay, she says blood flow to the muscles, okay?
So it's going to be hard for me, but I'm going to learn.
We're going to do some side walking band walks.
All right.
Right here, this is going to target our upper glute, which is really difficult for people to target. You're not going to let your feet touch. You have to keep the resistance. No.
Okay, it's going to target the upper glute. So she's going to tell you that this is going to build a muscle. It is going to build a muscle. I'll tell you what kind of muscle it's going to build.
Much?
Too much, like this. Barely.
Okay. So
Resistance the entire time.
And why this is achievable natural? Because it's artificial, definitely artificial, but it is achievable natural and on steroids.
okay.
Feel it right at the top of the glute. We're just going to keep walking.
I'm already feeling it.
Yep. I'm feeling
It
it too.
literally feels like I'm doing the abductor exercise
That's
right
the point.
straight up from the start.
You can either do this or you can stand and just like lift your leg like a dog.
So how many sets of this would you do?
At least 2 sets of 20 steps.
Okay.
And you switch sides because here we're going more working on this side. You're working both going either way.
Yeah.
But then when we walk down this side, we're going to work more on this.
And so if you're stronger, you can just go with a wider stance, and then that
You
keeps
can
more
do a
tension.
wider stance. You can even stay way down here.
Oh my God.
But the key to it really is not losing the resistance. Here, losing the
Right.
resistance.
Small.
I mean, she's not using any weights or anything, right? And she's stating that this is going to build you glutes. They themselves won't build you the glutes. You have to do something specific to build those glutes. But they will build the glutes. If you do this, I'll show you here. So the kind of training that she's doing basically is sarcoplasmic hypertrophy training. It's a kind of artificial muscle growth. You train the muscle for no other reason than to visually increase its size by increasing the amount of fluid it can hold. But you do not increase the density of the muscle fiber. How do you know when you're going, how do you know what you're building in a gym when you go in there? I have a question for all of you. How do you know what you're building when you go inside a gym? If it's sarcoplasmic hypertrophy and not myofibrillar hypertrophy, how do you know the difference? See what I mean? And what is sarcoplasmic? How do you get this sarcoplasmic hypertrophy? What food do you need to eat? Well, I'll tell you, it's complex carbohydrates. If you eat a lot of I'm talking about a natural person, not a person on steroids. If you're a natural person and you want to build this fake artificial muscle growth, it's really simple. You eat a lot of complex carbohydrates and you'll build a lot of these fake muscles and fake glutes. Now, so a person on steroids, well, they're going to eat a lot of carbs and sugar and a bunch of stuff. That will do a conversion. They're able to draw more of this glucose into the muscle and create these artificial muscles. That's the only difference. You basically could both get really massive by eating complex carbs. The other one's just eating carbs, this, that, a bunch of other carbs, and they're growing this. So what grows artificial sarcoplasmic hypertrophy muscles? Carbohydrates. So if that's in your diet, you're going to build that. Yeah, you're going to build it. Why? Because muscle has got a ceiling limit. You understand me? It can't go during hypertrophy process where there's certain things, the progenitor cells, they can't support further muscle growth there. And so they move into there's a secondary shift. They move into what they call sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, providing you're eating this herbivore, complex carbohydrate, weird diet that you all eat out there. Yeah, that's the difference. All right.
But the key to it really is not losing the resistance. Here, losing the
Right.
resistance.
Small steps, maybe
Small
4 to
steps.
6 inches each time. Okay. All right, I'm pumped.
Okay, that's it for that one. For me, when I'm warming up for
See, he already said he already told you he's pumped. You understand me? He already acknowledged it. I'm pumped. If you're getting a pump, because on a protein diet, you would never get a pump on a protein diet. You only get a pump when you're eating a herbivore diet, which these guys are doing. They're eating herbivore diets. That's why she looks so puffy and big.
legs, because I'm so quad dominant, I don't do anything really to warm up my legs and to make them pumped more than they already are, other than maybe
There you
like
go.
walking.
She just corroborated it to get them pumped anymore. Her legs are getting pumped. Her quads, her butt is getting pumped. If it's getting pumped, that is a sign of sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. I'll explain this. What is the sign to getting sarcoplasmic hypertrophy? When you get a pump in your muscle. Now, you could be getting some damage in there and getting a pump at the same time, but that's very specific training you need to do to get that. But the majority of people come in here chronically and they get this pump. Yeah, you could say they're damaging muscle too at the same time, but they're not getting micro damages in the muscles. They definitely are damaging if they're chronically lifting. So you're looking for specific things. If you get this pump and you're a chronic lifter, you're getting sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. That's all I could tell you. If you are doing this and you're on a carnivore diet, you're not going to get that pump. Nothing's going to happen. There's going to be zero growth there unless that protein synthesis exceeds that breakdown in proteins. In proteins, yes, that's right.
Lunges, but for glutes,
You know, when people get DOMS, what do you associate DOMS with? If you get a delayed onset muscle soreness, what did you achieve there in the gym? If you got a delayed onset muscle soreness, what did you achieve? Now, what did you achieve going to the gym and you're sore right after your workout? It's not delayed. It's not delayed, a DOMS, a delayed onset muscle soreness. You're just sore from being worn out. See what I mean? Now, what have you achieved if you're coming in chronically and you just are getting massive pumps? What are you achieving? Well, some inflammatory muscles. You can see the inflammation and you can feel the inflammation sometimes. It's kind of, there's a soreness there to it. That inflammation adds soreness to it. You understand me? That is not, how should I put it? That is not a micro tear. That is just some damage to the tissue in the body. How should I put it? A wearing out type of damage. You're just wearing out stuff and you're shortening the satellite cell pool. You're diminishing the satellite cell pool. That's what you're doing. You're not expanding it, that's for sure. You're losing stem cells by doing this. But anyway, so yeah, these are the signs that you look for if you are a lifter. You're looking for specific signs. You try to understand what it is you're particularly looking for and what are you trying to achieve. If you're trying to achieve myofibular growth, then your goal should not be trying to, I'm trying to grow artificial muscles through sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. That is my goal, to get the pump. I'm looking for a pump. You understand me? You're doing very specific things. If you just want androgen receptors, which are responsible for the strength and not the mass of the limb muscles, then shoot for that. Low rep, heavy weight, and keep practicing at lifting a weight. Keep adding increments of weight, and you'll lift heavier weight, and your body will reward you with these androgen receptors, somewhere for the androgens to bind, and you'll have a forced production, but you won't build any muscle there. See what I mean? And so again, but what controls the mass? Protein synthesis controls that mass, and these nuclei, they synthesize protein, so they too go both hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. If there's no nuclei, you can eat as much protein as you want, but it won't synthesize. Now, if you have a lot of nuclei but you don't eat protein, nothing's going to happen. So protein synthesis still needs to exceed that breakdown so that those nuclei can synthesize protein and further that growth of that domain. Yeah. It's not really complicated, but you are looking for specific things in this body.
I do, but I don't want to get too big of a pump. I don't want to fatigue them before I need to.
Right.
But just enough to get some blood flow. So now,
See, she wants to get a big pump and fatigue them, not to fatigue them or whatever. She wants to get a big pump but not fatigue them.
we've hit the sides. We want to hit up here.
Again, if she's looking for the pump, that is sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It's an artificial muscle growth.
So if we have something to hold on to, kick the glute, straight back, chest up, pause, hold.
I'm gonna admit I've never done glute kickbacks, even with the dumbbell, barbell cables, never in my life.
I can tell you this, Coach Greg, his muscles are fake. They're all phony. They're cosmetic because he takes steroids. He's achieved a cosmetic look, a very nice cosmetic look. You understand me? Without him, he's not going to have that cosmetic look. He's going to have to work for it in the natural world. You understand me? And that requires work. But Greg Doucette, he's lazy. You understand me? Because in this world, to achieve success, it's a very short window. People don't have time to do a lot of things natural or normal. You're never going to get rich working in a job for minimum wage. You understand me? You're like, well, I'm going to go there and buy a house and do this. I'm going to get rich working. You're never going to get rich working. Not in this world, in this environment. Never. You understand me? You're never going to be a pro bodybuilder if you try to go natural. You understand me? Because it requires a lot more work that is involved in it. And the window for success is short. And this achieves it achieves what you want, a cosmetic look, because that's what they're going for, a cosmetic look. Why would you show up on a stage if the competition was to see who has the prettiest face? Well, each woman is going to put cosmetics on their face to compete. Well, you'd have to be crazy to come there with a natural face. You understand me? That would be stupid. It'd be redundant. What the fuck? Yeah.
Nothing?
This is my first time doing
It would be pointless to do these things. So again, you have to know what you want to achieve. No, people come on the internet and they blab about people, this, steroids, this, that. Oh, they take steroids. Oh, they're doing that. They're cheating. Ha, 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 ha. Man, bro, nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares about what other people, those people, they don't care about your opinion. They only care about them being successful in that short window because there isn't a lot of time. That's it, really, basically. So this whole natty or not natty, I know a lot of natties that are fake. Are they carrying real muscle because they grew sarcoplasmic muscles? Because they pumped a lot of glycogen in there? No, it's artificial because they ate an artificial diet and they created artificial muscles. So a guy who took steroids, he created some cosmetic look and some artificial muscles too. And so what? And oh, he may look better than the natural guy because he added some anabolics in there to dry himself out and get lean and keep that pump and get lean at the same time. Okay. Yeah. See what I mean? Oh, I fell in love with a girl. You fell in love with her, why? Because she had a lot of cosmetics on her face? Or I did a cosmetic job, or I went and got liposuction, or I got a tummy tuck, or whatever these people are doing. Of course, they're all artificial, what people are doing. Even their diets are artificial, and their lifestyle is quite artificial, the way they're living anyways in this world. So does it really matter what is natural anymore in this world? Pretty much nothing.
this motion. Now, for some reason,
Are you activating
I'm more
the
tired
other
on this side?
On the side,
The
that's
side
not
I'm
working.
standing
It's
on
'cause you're
is
lean.
like-
That just tells me he's a fake coach. They're like, we're activating. What are you activating? You're not activating anything. You're drawing glycogen into the muscle, pumping it in there.
To that side.
So what do I have to do? How do I get more
With that arm?
lean, like to the side?
No, just
Maybe
be straight.
Come and adjust me. You gotta move my.
'Kay.
I'm feeling like right here. It's pumped.
Well,
so what do I
don't
have to
lean
do?
on that side.
So like.
See, he's feeling a pump, but he's like, I'm activating. What the fuck are you activating there, Greg? Come on, man. Don't be stupid.
Come back this way.
Try holding both hands.
Okay.
Try holding
Hands
both
up.
hands. Keep your weight centered. Don't lean too far to the left
Okay.
because then you're going to work the other. Right here.
All right. I'm feeling it there now.
Right there.
Oh, and do you pause?
You feel it now? Yes.
Absolutely.
You pause at the top.
Right
Hold.
at the top. Squeeze.
Squeeze.
Hold.
Yep. Now switch. Same thing. Keep your weight in the center. Push it straight back.
Okay.
Here.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
You have a big butt already. It's coming just from doing this. You pumped enough?
I really like, and this is the warm up.
Yeah. Is the
See, she even says it. Are you pumped enough? So what type of training is this? Pump training. Artificial sarcoplasmic pump training. Pump training, man. Yeah.
Literally, if I only did your warm up, I think I would grow.
I think you would too.
Wow.
Maybe because you hadn't been doing anything at all.
That's hard. Oh.
Last thing, pulses. So we're gonna do really wide, toes pointed out. Make sure you're pushing through your knees.
Yeah.
Then you can either hold the dumbbell like this, or you can hold the dumbbell like this. If you're short, this.
So she's going to use dumbbells now to create this pump in the muscles. Do you really need to lift a heavy weight to get this sarcoplasmic fluid in the muscle like these fake bodybuilders? No, you don't need it. That's why they get so massive. Yeah.
Gives you a lot more range of motion.
Sumo deadlifts, so that probably helped my glutes back in the day as well. Now that I've cut those out,
Well, it's great. At the same time, he's getting better at lifting weights and he's getting some fake sarcoplasmic muscles. See? You can't do that kind of training to get myofibrillar growth. It has to be very specific.
glutes have definitely shrunk.
Pancake ass. Cool. How did that feel?
Well, I'm having an immense pump.
There's definitely like accessory movements that you can do to try and target it only. But if you're doing a squat, if you're doing a leg press, like if you're doing sumos, your quads are going to be activated. But there's definitely things that you can do to try and make it more glute dominated.
I love when she says your glutes are going to be activated. What is activating exactly? Oh, I know. You're activating the stem cells, and what are they doing? Nothing. They're proliferating because you're like a factory worker moving things around, and there's some damage in the tissues there, joints, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But this isn't going to build you muscle, that oxidative damage. And look, the oxidative damage to the muscle fibers, what you're doing now, getting oxidative damage, this is cardio. Bro, I'm telling you, what they're doing is cardio. This isn't micro tearing a muscle, chronically coming in and being adapted. There are no more adaptations, so it's oxidative. You understand me? Yeah.
But I mean, you're gonna get it anyways.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Let's see what this feels like. So when I started.
So I got this for some of my boys on the football team. It's called True Height.
Ashwagandha, great absorbing calcium. Take a look at what True Height.
You do, because when you first get started, most people don't have that foundation. So when I started competing.
When people first started, they don't have that foundation. All people come in, untrained people, bypass the myonuclear domain size limit when they come in the gym. They even call it what it is. You could call it a newbie gain. I got a newbie gain. That's just a word they're making up. They bypassed myonuclear domain when they were untrained when they first came to the gym. That's it.
I did train all of that because I needed to build the foundation of having a solid upper body so that I could.
To build a foundation of a big upper body, solid, she's got no solidity. I can prove to you that her muscle, all that fluid she's carrying in there, sarcoplasmic, all that so-called pretend muscle she has, this balloon look she has is sarcoplasmic. I can prove it.
Have the luxury later of not having to train it. So if you're a newbie wellness girl.
Her training tells me that it's sarcoplasmic. I just know everything they're doing, it indicates that.
Yes, train all of that because you still want to have a nice back because when you're in your back pose, you can see your rear delts. And sometimes
that only looks good because they're taking cutting drugs. So she's going to be on anabolics because she's a woman because they're safer. Because the testosterone draws, it draws more sarcoplasmic, sarcoplasmic fluid in there, definitely, the glycogen. Greg too, and all these males and everybody. It doesn't really matter. You can do it. It's achievable on these anabolics, just like any drug too. People are so misconstrued, man. They just don't get it. But you'll get more of it if you combine testosterone in there.
Notice the hair's covering, so I'm like, you don't really need much back because it's being covered by but I guess the shoulder width still needs to be there. You need some cap delts.
If anything, it's like cap. You need the cap more, but you don't want your bicep to overpower your cap. You just want to see the cap. They want to see a small waist, and they want to see big lower body.
Because I'm thinking
Yeah, okay, whatever. Let's see what else he says here.
And I can see lines. I feel like the girls have the bigger legs than me, some of them.
He sees lines because he's on anabolics.
How much do you think I weigh right now?
And you're 5'2"?
How much? I'm 5'2" and 45.
Or even 175. Would you rather be heavier?
145.
Perhaps maybe you get down to 135 and you're, wow, how's he gain in 5 days? It's hard.
Can you imagine just coming to a gym to try to get some phony muscles, lifting all that time? Look, he's showing Larry Wheels. He grew 53 pounds in phony muscles. Watch.
Professional, he's very mentally strong, but yet
See? In 5 days, he gained 53 pounds of sarcoplasmic muscles. He got a little bit of bloatness in his stomach, but that's just the irritation because of eating this herbivore diet. But all that herbivore stuff went into the muscles. They drew it in there. You understand me? It's unlike a chicken building muscle when they overfeed. This overfeeding just draws all this fluid right back in there, gets sucked up like a sponge.
Couldn't stop it. And so what chance does the average person have? It is very difficult, very challenging.
It's very difficult. Those are the hardest parts for me.
Yeah, the hardest parts, eh?
And to when you're on the off season, now my new goal is to get as healthy as I can, get my hormones back together, push my strength in the gym because now I have.
Yes, her whole goal is to get healthy. Yes, go push it in the gym and get my strength up. Yeah, man. You think this is healthy? Putting glycogen in your muscle, which is a type of sugar. You think that's healthy to carry around all that sugar in your muscle fibers? It's crazy.
Food. So that switch from I'm going into a physique goal into a strength and health goal can help you move.
Oh, she's going from a physique mode to strength and whatever mode. Oh, man, this is just insane. Fuck it.
From one goal to the next.
And this is why I keep preaching, try not to strive for single.
One fake goal to the next, man. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Greg Doucette. I told you, this is just pure fake pump training, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy training. See you later, my friends. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Helps the algorithm. Ciao, bro.